All right, so boom, first day on my funded Top Step accounts, beautiful. I made 1,000 in each, and it's a very good start. First of all, I always like to start off my funded accounts slow. Okay, I told the team today, I was like, I like to dip my toes in before I jump in the water. So we'll see what could happen today. Also, it was Monday. I did not expect it to be this good. And I'm gonna tell you why. Okay, so let's jump in the charts, right? So boom, 9 a.m. I'm looking at the charts and I was like, okay, like most likely, it's another choppy Monday because you guys already know, pre-market is up and down. The range of pre-market, I mean, basically it was 300 to 400 ticks, which isn't horrible, but it was still going up and down. So I was like, all right, like let's see how this first 15-minute candle closes. Okay. And if you're wondering what these zones are, the white lines are support and resistance on a 15-minute time frame, okay? So how I draw these white lines are, I go on the 15-minute and then I find, areas like this and I draw it right at the body, okay? But to be honest, the white lines I don't depend on for trades as much as I do for supply and demand zones. Okay, so these gray zones are supply and demand. The reason I have them gray and not red or green is because I believe that, and I know a lot of other traders do it, that, this 50% line, if price closes above the white line, okay, I'm expecting to see price keep going in that line and ignore, whatever zone it is. And I think a lot of you guys fail to realize that even though it can be like this, even though this was I'm pretty sure it's a 10-minute, yeah, it's a 10-minute zone. Even though this is a demand zone, I'm not going to expect buyers to just show up here 100% of the time. Okay. Yes, there's a lot of buyers here, but you also have to think about it as there's a lot of orders here. Okay, nobody knows if there's buyers or sellers. There's just a lot of orders, right? That's why I have the 50% line. Okay, if we break through, we're breaking through those orders and then we're continuing the direction, if that makes sense. Okay, so boom, this is the 10-minute zone that I was looking at. First 15-minute candle closed. Let me look at it. Boom, this was the first 15-minute candle. Okay, so right at 9:45 is where I always take my first trade, if not more later. Okay, so no matter what, you guys have no idea how many times I've missed out on moves because I'm waiting for the 15-minute candle. Yeah, I still find a move because I don't FOMO into anything. I wait for I wait for my system. That's my system. I just wait for the first 15-minute candle. Your system could be different. Oh my gosh, I'm talking too much. Anyways, I was just saying that, every system is different and every system works as long as you manage your risk. Anyways, yeah, first 15-minute candle close, which we always wait for. So boom. This is the first trade I took right here. Why did I take this trade? Because we closed below 50% and we were kind of retesting it. So I actually got in the trade right after oh my gosh, not after. Right at 9:45, which is my time to trade. Boom, I got in. My first stop loss was actually, something like this. It was a bit more above that 50% line because I figured, if we break above this 50% line, then most likely we're going to continue going up. But luckily I didn't get stopped out, which was a beautiful trade. I mean, I could have gotten stopped out there, but luckily I didn't. Anyways, once this candle, started showing its movement down, I moved my stop loss down to here. And I was only in 5 micros on this one, okay? And I was going to scale into 10 micros, which is 1 mini. shoulda, coulda, woulda. I don't care that I didn't scale in because I know my way of going into these funded accounts. I like to start things slow, and oh my gosh, I forgot to shrink the face cam. Anyways, yeah, that was the first short. It's very simple. You know, we close below 50% line. I'm gonna sell. Okay, boom. That was the first trade, and then what I aimed for was down here, which if we zoom out, okay, let me zoom out here, right? Actually, let me show you on this side. So if we zoom out, this zone right here, if you go to the 15-minute time frame, look back, let me see. Boom, right here. 15-minute zone. That's what this gray zone is. And it's a beautiful zone too. You know, we got a nice move up and a nice basing candle. So that's the zone. And then let's go back to the 5 minute. Boom. I actually, once it hit 50%, which was 200 ticks, which was almost a 1 to 3. Okay, beautiful risk to reward. Imagine if I held that trade, I could have gotten a 1 to 10. Anyways, shoulda, coulda, would have. Yeah, I started trailing it once we hit 50%. So I was already up $500. Okay, since I was up $500, I was like, okay, like, boom, that was such a beautiful trade. Let's cool down before I take another trade. Right, so I cooled down and then I waited for that 15-minute candle to close. Okay, once it closed, this is kind of hard to tell because my stop loss, okay, my entry was somewhere around here. Yeah, because this 15-minute candle formed, this one right here at 9:45. Boom. After that, I was still thinking shorts because, again, if you zoom out on the 15-minute time frame, there is actually another zone here. I think it's 15-minute. Okay, it might be like a 30-minute or something. Whoops. Oh, jeez. Okay, it's a 45-minute 45-minute supply zone. Okay, and as you can see here, we tapped into it 1, 2, 3. Okay, but at the time we only had tapped into it twice, which was good enough for me. I was like, perfect, that's a beautiful area of interest. You know, we've tapped into that area a couple of times. It's like a little magnet. So, most of the time I don't like to take trades like this that's in the middle of two zones. But my white lines are a good indicator of where price could potentially, pull back to and then, reject. The white lines are really there for me to kind of have an idea of where price could possibly reject off of. And this is a great example because even though we didn't pull back to it, it allowed me to get back into the trade and put my stop loss right above the white line. Again, the white line is a 15-minute. Look, if we look back at the white line, boom, this is the area right here. 15-minute support resistance. So I got in the sell literally right after this 15-minute candle formed. I was like, perfect. Most likely we're going to go down here because this area down here is like a magnet. So I took a short, another one. And I made another 500 off of this one. It's basically self-explanatory, And it was such a quick trade. Look at the 5-minute time frame. Boom. It should really be like this. Oh, whoops. Like that. It was such a fast trade. Um and yeah, I also what I could have done here was I'm pretty sure I did too. Once price was moving good in my direction, I moved my stop loss down and then eventually, I went break even. And yeah, I aimed for this 50% line, but in reality, I got out. Bless me. Thank you. In reality, I really got out around this white line and the zone, because once it tapped into the zone, I was like, yeah, I'm trailing this. I'm already up 1K on the day. Boom. And also, it was an area where price could potentially reject off of, which it did beautifully. I mean, beautiful day, honestly. Awesome start to the account too, because now I'm one fourth basically done with my goal, because I'm trying to get up to 4,000 in profit, which should be a breeze since I made 3,000 in order to pass the accounts. Okay, there's no doubt in my mind that I'm not getting this 10K pay. I know I'm gonna get it. All I have to do is continue to, execute and manage risk. Keep things simple. Okay, less is more in trading, I'm telling you. Anyways, if you want to trade live with me or learn my system, link below. Since I had a 5K day, I'm doing the 50% sale again. Plus, I had a bunch of other people ask me, do I still have the sale? Sure, I have the sale up again. 5K day, why not? Anyways, thank you guys for watching.